I'm an alcoholic. I got sober when I was 18 years old, and it runs in my family. And the arc of my alcoholism was very rapid, and so I bottomed out pretty low, pretty fast, and I drank exactly the way my dad drank. And it was pretty obvious to me by the time I ended up in here that I was an alcoholic. I didn't have too much of a problem accepting that, looking at the destruction that it caused on myself and the people around me. And I didn't go to treatment. I ended up getting dragged in here by a brother who had 6 months at the time and had an AA tattoo on one shoulder and an NA tattoo on the other shoulder. And he was pretty militant about dragging people into AA. And my first first place I identified with AA was in the doctor's opinion. I went through withdrawals and Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, and I couldn't read for the first 4 or 5 weeks. So my brother would read the book to me at night, and when I was in withdrawal. And when I heard the doctor's opinion, it described me perfectly. And I thought, how do they know that about me? They must be following me around. Then my next thought was, this doctor who spent his whole life dealing with people like me had no answers for a guy like me. And so suggested Alcoholics Anonymous. That's why he wrote the letter to AA. And so I was beat up enough to be open-minded sitting in AA meetings. And I was very fortunate that in the 80s when I got sober, there was massive amounts of young people in AA. And going to treatment and things like that. And so I got to go to meetings with a lot of my peers, and I feel real fortunate that it was that way for me. AA didn't stay that way, but it was at that time. And I guess we were all bottoming out at the same time, my generation. And they said listen for similarities, and there was some older people in the AA meetings that I got sober in, and so I would listen closely to them to find parallels between my alcoholic story and their alcoholic story. And if I was really honest with myself, it wasn't that hard to find parallels in other people's stories. And I was able to just, follow the suggestions of constantly reminding myself to be open-minded, got a sponsor, worked the steps of AA, and I've gotten all the promises of AA came true at one time or another pretty rapidly for me. And I don't see any other way that could happen for me other than coming to AA with an open mind and working all the steps to get free from alcohol. So anyway, that's all I have.